with the upcoming Pokemon Presents on July 22nd, I want to talk about what we can expect to see revealed. Some of the things I think we're going to see are more obvious, like, I'm sure we're going to get a new Legends EA trailer. I think that's probably the biggest given, but there's a few other things I think we could expect to see. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys some things that you might expect to see on the Presents. But before we get into all that, I just want to say quick that I'm trying to reach 20,000 subscribers on the channel, and I'm also going to be covering all the latest Pokemon Legends EA news and leaks. So if you guys don't want to miss any of that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It also really helps me reach my goal, so I appreciate all of you for subscribing. So anyways, first of all, I just want to talk about what we could expect to see in the ZA trailer. I think the biggest one is new Mega Evolutions. I think we're going to see a bunch of new Mega Evolutions, and we're finally going to find out if all those leaks that we've had for the last few months, if those are actually legit. We're going to find that out, as well as we're definitely going to see more to do with the story, and I want to see some new characters in this trailer. Hopefully we get to see who the figure is on the cover art image that's kind of standing up in the shadows in the background. So yeah, that's the main thing about Pokemon Legends EA that I think we're going to get to see. Let me know down below what stuff you guys want to see about Legends EA on the Pokemon Presents. But next, I want to get into some more obscure stuff that we may or may not see, but I think it'd be pretty cool if we did see it. So obviously, number one, I think that Gen 10, there's a possibility that they could announce Gen 10 in this Presents, because obviously next year is the Pokemon 30th anniversary. So I think what better way for them to celebrate that than to give us an all new generation, especially the 10th generation. I feel like they're going to want to do something insane with that, and we have had all the leaks regarding that recently. So there's a chance it could be called Pokemon Winds and Waves or Gales and Tides. Something along those lines is probably what we're going to see. So I can't wait to see if we actually get a Gen 10 announcement. Part of me thinks they might save that for next year's Pokemon Day, which they could do as well, but they might just give us a super tiny little teaser for it in this trailer. So we'll have to see what happens. And then this one's kind of interesting. Now you guys might think I'm crazy for this one, but what if we get some type of announcement for either a Gen 1 or a Gen 2 related Legends game for the Switch 2? Because obviously next year is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, and I wouldn't expect either of these games to release next year if it was announced, but I think that'd be cool if they did announce it. And like I said about Gen 10, maybe they'd save it for next year's Pokemon Day to at least announce it. But I want to tell you guys my ideas for a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 related Legends game, because I got some cool ideas for it, and I think that'd be cool if they did something like this, especially Gen 2, because it's been a really long time obviously since we've gotten a Gen 2 game. If you guys want to count Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee as a Gen 1 game, then we've had that a lot more recently obviously, but I still think it'd be cool if we got a Gen 1 or a Gen 2 related Legends game. So first of all, I want to talk about the Gen 1. So I think there's only one way they could go with this. I think that they'd have to go with a Legends Mewtwo game, and my idea for this is pretty cool. What if they gave us, a story based on the first Pokemon movie, and maybe we wouldn't play as Ash, but maybe we'd follow a similar story to what Ash went through in that movie in the game. I think that would definitely be pretty sick, and I'd love to actually play through like Mewtwo escaping from the lab and having all the armor and stuff. I remember when I first watched that movie a long time ago, I thought that Mewtwo looked super sick with all that armor on. So I'd love to see that in a game on the Switch 2 graphics, and I think that'd be a nice way for them to kind of call back on the OG very first movie of Pokemon. Obviously for the 30th anniversary, that would make a lot of sense. And then secondly, my idea for a Gen 2 related Legends game. A lot of people say Legend Celebi, but personally I feel like it'd be a lot cooler if they did something with like the legendary beasts or the legendary dogs, whatever you guys call them, because if you guys don't know the backstory with them, all three of them were actually resurrected by Ho-Oh. They were apparently three unnamed Pokemon that perished with the burned tower in Johto. So I think it'd be cool if the game kind of started like before the tower burnt down, and then we finally have answers as to what three Pokemon they used to be. I know most people think that it was Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon, which I think that would make sense from the type standpoint, but I do feel like that's kind of unlikely. But I guess we'd only find out if they actually did something like this. And not to mention, there's a lot of cool backstory with Ho-Oh itself, and in my opinion, Johto is definitely one of the nicest looking Pokemon regions. So imagine we got a Legends Johto game on the Switch 2 with the Switch 2 graphics. I feel like that would look absolutely crazy. Let me know what you guys think down below, and let me know what you guys expect to see in this upcoming Pokemon Presents. I know those last two ideas were pretty far-fetched, I guess, but I wanted to get creative as to how they could possibly celebrate the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. Also, like I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers, so if you guys don't mind helping me reach my goal, I extremely appreciate it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.